Hey Steve, it's Andrew Beatty, and I like to try to work with the mentors, the mentees, and provide a kind of a midterm formative assessment just to kind of look and see how things are going, see if there's anything that needs to be tweaked along the way. And I want to just give you the overall perspective that you're doing a great job. We really appreciate that. And it's been fun for me to kind of step in, review your course a little bit, and see how well you're doing. I think you're doing a really good job with your announcements and giving that information again, like the idea of adding the study guide. I'm sure your students really appreciated that. I like this here for this week that you gave them a heads up that it's going to be a busy week and that you're praying for them. Again, my personal soapbox is that at Moody Bible Institute, this whole idea of being able to pray for students and letting them know that is one of those hallmark distinctions that we have. It's a funny story, but I got picked up in the middle of the semester to teach an online class at Illinois State, and there are students who are having all kinds of issues, and I just really feel my hands are tied. I mean, obviously I'm praying for them, but not let them know, man, I'm praying for you as you're going through this, or those kinds of things. So I think that's really good, and so I love what you're doing. I think it's always good if we use, I forget what they're, I call them emoticons, but I know there's an emoji or whatever the kids are calling them these days. So I think that's good to see that in there as well. I also appreciate your extra resources. So like I watched the video on the twins, and I saw that you had a resource for those who are dealing with Alzheimer's. So again, all those extra resources that you add are really good. And so thanks for doing that. I miss that you have something for working with people with developmental disabilities. I will have to go back and check that out, as I have my own kids who are dealing with those issues. Let's see here. When I look at your grade center and the needs grading thing, you just have a few papers, 2 discussions to grade. So you're staying on top of that. That's really good. And those are all today, and those were all yesterday. So you're doing a great job of staying up on that, and I really appreciate that as well. That's another one of the things that students oftentimes talk about. Another thing that I always like to kind of check is to see how the students are doing, whether they are engaging. Here's you look at this. Most of your students have checked in either yesterday or even today. You have a few who checked in on the 4th, maybe 1 or 2 on the 3rd, but overall, looks like they're doing really well. And let's see what else on my notes. Just a question for you. It's not a criticism. It's not anything. It's just what do you think about it? Oftentimes, with a class this size, people will maybe either do one large discussion group, or they might do 2 discussion groups. And I don't know if you've enjoyed having 3 discussion groups with smaller sizes, and if that works out well or not for you. I've had times when the small groups have worked great, and I've had times then when in one of the groups, a couple people don't really respond, and so then it makes it tough for the others. So just a thought question: would you like it if you broke it down into 2 groups of 7 or 8 apiece instead of 3 groups of 5 or whatever that is for you to think through? Again, that's a preference, not this is the right way or wrong way to do it. Just for you to think about that. As I look through your discussion boards, you're doing a great job with your comments. You're engaging the students well, and that's really good too. So overall, outstanding job. Keep up the great work. We are so glad to have you here teaching with us, and glad that you're making the transition well from the face-to-face to the online world. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.